freelancer versus urgency. Some key takeaways, how to pick up the right one.
That was like the opposite of what I wanted at the beginning, because you delegate to save time. What I like instantly appreciated with you guys is first your ability to challenge my decisions. We need a partner that is able to react within a few hours, within the day.
My personal passion is make sure we work on products that someone else is going to be using.
And now I can upload the Chrome extension to the Chrome store blindly.
Like big red button, you just push it and...
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the history. As far as I remember, we had your job post mentioned on Upwork back in the days, and just replied with, looks like you need some assistance with the browser extension, and we're experts in browser extensions, well, in web development in general. And I guess I've dropped that link for my super ugly YouTube video as well. And then we got on a call, right? And that's like my point of view. And then we were just talking, and turns out you running your YouTube videos too. And I kind of asked you for your opinion on what I'm doing, provide some feedback. And it was kind of honest conversation from the beginning, right? And I was attracted by the fact that, we're kind of moving the same, direction. And then I remember your story. Is just maybe to refresh your memory, or just correct me, or just you will tell your version. You had a freelance developer hired on Upwork originally, and the guy was building the first version for you as well. And then I remember your specific pain. You mentioned, like, I want to push my product live. I need to do marketing, but what I'm doing is I'm testing the versions after the developer. I'm picking up the bugs and, asking them to correct, and then testing again. And that loop is not helpful. I cannot focus on marketing my product. That was your kind of pain point back in the days. And I feel that 100%. It happens all the time, especially for small business and startups. Yeah. And then all in all, we decided, well, you made your decision. We decided to work on your product, and original goal was to just fix a couple of bugs and just some minor updates. And it turned out we had to do complete rework of the browser extension, refactoring. And it's not like, little refactoring. We had to do like 3 iterations to put it back to the right, setup. And then I can say, after a few months of work, I guess, well, it wasn't full time, but still, we released a solid version that more or less still on production, and we're just, continue to support you since then. So I guess it's been about a year since we started, and now we're still working.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah, and for me, it's kind of a success story. You were like a small startup with a little bit of attraction. We were just some kind of an urgency that's a lot on the market. I was talking how we're interested in building products, and you kind of believed in my approach, and we had some common sense in between us. And then it turned out to be a long-term relationship. And to be honest, we have like 95% of our clients ending up in a long-term relationship when they realize our approach is exactly as we presented, delivering on time and actually care about what we do. Yeah, but tell me, what was your story from your side?
So yeah, actually at the beginning we had no money, like all startups, So we hired like a freelancer on Upwork, and did a really like, a good first job, but for like 10 users, When you have like hundreds or thousands of users, like the architecture of the product is really important, and the fact that the product can scale become really, really important. And we quickly realized that we needed a much more solid partner to continue our growth, because we had some traction, and that was the first pain point. The second pain point was testing. So we are still 2 people in the team. So me, I focus on like acquisition and the front end and like part of the product, which involves a bit of the Chrome extension. And the thing is that there was like, as you said, the testing loop, like the work was not like really tested before being sent to me. So I had to make a lot of a lot of feedbacks in the extension, and that took a lot of time. And that was like the opposite of what I wanted at the beginning, because you delegate to save time.
Exactly.
And what I like instantly appreciated with you guys is first your ability to challenge my decisions, because with the first guy I said like, let's do that, and he was only saying like, oh, yeah, okay, I will do it. With you guys it's kind of different, because I say something and then you challenged it, and then we have this feedback loop, and then we take the decision, because you got that I have the business expertise and you have the technical expertise, and with that we are able to make the right decisions. And that was the first thing I liked with you guys. And the second is the QA, obviously, because with you guys we had this QA phase, and like I don't remember like having testing the product and seeing not work, because you have this QA phase before you send anything to me. And now I can like almost upload the Chrome extension to the Chrome store blindly. You know, I do some tests, but I don't test it like fully, because I know like 90% will obviously work, because we tested like many times right now. So I'm like, you know, I don't have this mental way to like, this is gonna work, like, and push it with like, you know, when you push something, like you're afraid, like, you're like, okay, I push this, but I don't know what happened.
Like big red button, you just push it and
yeah, you push, and like you wait for, like you hope for things to work. Like now when I push something, I know that it will work. Like I have serenity, you know, and this is a great thing when you have a partner when you on which you can rely on like that, and that's why we stay with you.
That thing is very important. Like you actually push the thing and you're confident in the result, and it's even hard to estimate, right? The bigger your product grows, that thing values more every time. Like if you have 10 people, that confidence maybe not that valuable, because it's just 10 people. If you have 1 million ARR, as you guys are, that confidence actually costs a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of a bug in production when you have 10 users and when you have like 1,000, 2,000 users is not the same at all, because before we're like one support request on the chat with a bug, and then if we push a bug now, it's like dozens of hundreds of people sending messages like in the next hour.
Exactly.
So the impact is really big. And as a business grow, and I learned it myself on my own development on Bubble, it's like, okay, now we can push stuff like that. It's like, as you go, you need to develop this testing phase, because the cost of the error increases with time.
You know what's also, I think it's important to talk a little bit more, is that super very initial phase of our communication, because it's super hard to kind of, you know, I'm just speaking and you're just another guy from another side of the screen, right? You have your product, you have your limited budget, and you're trying to not make a mistake to hire someone, right? And then all of a sudden you hired us in this case, but I guess that's one of the key points where a lot of startups kind of fail or have a wrong decision, and then they have to find another developer over time. What would you highlight as key turning points in decision making? Obviously, you had much more options than just us to develop this, right?
I mean, I knew we had to switch from a freelancer to an agency, because we wanted to have a long-term partner. And let's say a freelancer like decided to change mission or is not available at some point.
Yeah.
Like this is a huge risk for us, because we need to react really fast. And we experience that a lot of times with you guys, because our extension is based on LinkedIn. So one morning we can wake up and LinkedIn decides to completely change the UX of the platform. And that happened with you guys. I don't know if you remember, Valerie, but one day, like we woke up and like the front end of the LinkedIn had completely changed. So we need to rework all the extension and react super fast. And sometimes the API changes, so we need to modify some stuff. And if the extension doesn't work, all your app is broken. And we have like dozens of messages on the support. So we need a partner that is able to react within a few hours, within the day, or like the service is completely dead.
Yeah, well, that's what we call production support. The thing is, on production, there's no time to, you know, scratch your head. but I'm talking more about the decision point, even before we started working, right? You somehow decided working with us, how we communicated, how I communicated, like what were that the values that you find interesting? What was the decision-making point for you there?
I mean, we were looking for Chrome extension experts. So for me, like the fact that you were an agency and you had expertise in previous Chrome extension projects, that was enough to trust you guys and to make a test.
Okay, so you didn't find a lot of experts in Chrome extensions on Upwork?
Not so much. I mean, I found a lot of people, a lot of freelancers, but I did not find so much like agencies specialize in Chrome extension development. There is a lot of people that can do an MVP or stuff like that, but I think the experience to scale Chrome extension is not like a really common skills that is easy to find.
Okay, makes sense. How do you find that communication part working with us? I introduced you, well, when we started, I introduced you to Ada. She is a project manager. Then you have direct access to the developers as well. We have common Slack chat with you guys. How do you find communication experience?
I mean, I love the fact that we can be straightforward, honest, and not like if something is bad, I don't have to say, oh, guys, and put a lot of forms and politeness, like I can say like, oh, okay, this is not working. No. Okay, got it, fixed, like the communication is kind of efficient, and we can say like, we can be honest with each other. I can say this is a bad idea. You can tell me this is a bad idea. I think we won't do it, and that facilitates the exchanges a lot. Like if you had to put like a lot of forms every time, you kind of lose time. And I love like direct, honest exchanges like that. And we have both of us. We get our interest is that the project succeed.
Yeah, the product. You mean like, and that's what I'm actually talking a lot about. Like we are interested in building products that someone's going to be using, and we'd like to do that, the best we can. And by the way, we suggest things, and as you say, like sometimes we say, don't do this, or it's not a good idea to do something. It's because we're trying to do something better, depending on your like business goal, and you share that. We would suggest something that we believe, and you can verify that, could be a better decision for the product, so that we have more chances, you have more chances in succeeding, and we're too, because we kind of, build the thing. And that's my personal passion. Instead of just working to the shelf and just, charging people by hours, my personal passion is make sure we're working on products that someone else is going to be using. Otherwise, it's just wasted time in terms of, lifetime.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Ada is, I love the fact that Ada is there to translate, also like I could like talk to the developers directly sometimes, but this requires time because I need to write like more detailed messages with technical stuff. And the fact like I can simply present the business problem to Ada, and I would then translate it to like a more technical problem to developers, that saves time as well.
Yeah, that's also a good thing. All right. What's your plan? Are you guys doubling this year?
So we started the year at 1 million ARR.
Yeah.
So in January, now we are at like 150 MRR. So yeah, we gained like 70. We almost doubled. So since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, looks like you're towards doubling this year, right?
I mean, we will double this year.
Yeah,
because the doubling would mean to be at 160 plus, and we already at 150. So
and it actually accelerates as well, right? Over time, like the grows faster when you started growing.
Yeah, I mean, we experienced that. We definitely experienced this exponential growth at the beginning, and until like March. Then we kind of reached a plateau because of like scaling issues, and like you grow really fast, and then you accumulate technical debt, or you realize that your system are not scalable enough.
Yeah.
Even if in client acquisition, like I know in SEO, YouTube, Like right now, I'm really like working on systems to produce more content faster, you know.
Yeah, I've seen your LinkedIn, a lot of shorts and stuff.
Actually, the certain growth phases, and like phase one, you grow with a certain system, and then the system reaches its limit, and then you need to work on a new system to trigger a new growth phase.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what we are doing right now. Is like we grew until like 150, and then we realized that okay, we need to make some modification to the app to build a more robust system to create content fast. And we are doing that right now, and I think that with these changes we'll be able, I hope, to reach like 200k MRR before the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, sounds good. Some heavy marketing stuff is going on, basically.
Yeah, I mean, my point, you'll tell me your point of view on this, but it's easier to have like a really simple, you have a simple product that does one thing, and then you're really good at client acquisition. And that way you can build a lot of revenue, because the error made by most startup founders is to build like really complex product with big markets. Like, for example, let's take an example of someone that wants to build like the next HubSpot, and he will like build all the HubSpot features from day one, and the product is too complicated. The market is big, yes, but the product is buggy, and the client acquisition is slow. Instead of, if you like build a single feature product and you're the better on this vertical, and then you're really good at client acquisition, then you can build a lot of revenue. That the strategy we followed, and it worked.
Yeah, and after that, you can probably introduce new features that's not that key, but still makes your product better, right?
Yeah, I mean, and features just become a way, among others, to increase your revenue. Like, you have several things you can do to increase your revenue: acquisition, activation, conversion, monetization, upsells. And actually, we see new features are just monetization leverage. Like building a new feature is just a way to upsell existing clients.
Exactly.
It's not a new feature for new features. Like, okay, we got these 4 growth leverages: acquisition, activation, conversion, monetization. And in monetization, you can also like increase your prices. But another way to increase monetization is to upsell, and to upsell, you can build new features. But I think this is a good way to see product. Like, product is a way, and features are simply a way to increase revenue, you know?
Yeah, that's actually like core. There are a lot of bells and whistles. In the core, it's all about revenue. And yeah, we're good at upsell because all our clients stay for the custom product, the professional service that we have. And that's exactly that. Like, it's hard to get, clients. And if you have that, you at least have something. But then on top of that base, you can build your upsell in terms of product or in terms of professional service. And then that's much cheaper in terms of marketing. Like, you already have the relationship. And if you're doing a great job, it's easy to have like version 2 agreed, some, enhancements approved and stuff like that. And that's where you can grow your revenue out of the existing base with zero marketing, basically, and zero sales, right? Our project manager is doing sales. They're not salesperson. They're focused on building products.
I mean, especially, if you like an agency and you start by selling like something really simple that is like the entrance, to your other product, and you're like, oh, okay, we build your website, and then we build your app, and then we build your Chrome extension, and then we build that, and when you build your backend, admin panel, stuff like that. Exactly. You need to find like the entrance point, like what is the first thing you can do for your clients, and then after like you have the first success with a simple task, then you can like upsell.
Yeah, well, we have that good clients references for browser extensions that some clients think we're browser extension guys, but we're actually full stack. And that's the thing that I'm also trying to change in our positioning in the market. Like, we're actually full stack guys, building solid backend, admin panels, statistics, dashboards, including backend. We have like a real-time video call, online game engines, built by us. And well, yeah, obviously browser extensions as well. which is like a pretty rare thing, as you say, and it's hard to find the urgency like that. But then, yeah, we're ending up building some other stuff as well. But there are some that's, you know, selling directly like backend work or directly React SPA, like single page application. For us, somehow it's much easier to sell browser extension first. So JB, like if that's going to be your next thing, let's discuss how we can transition your app to something solid as well.
We'll see. But I'm pretty attached to Bubble right now.
Okay.
Maybe someday, you know, I'm really open to that, because as I say, like, I'm not like, okay, let's use this technology because we believe in that. You know, it's like the context is everything.
Exactly.
You have your needs, and technology is just a detail. What is important is achieving the goal.
Exactly. Yeah.